News Radio WRVA, the voice of Virginia.
You've been warned. At 9:33, there are no talking points, no scripts, no safety net. Just Rich, Virginia, and whatever happens next. The 933 Experiment. This is News Radio WRVA.
9:34 right now on News Radio WRVA, and the phone lines are now open. The mayhem is about to begin as I turn the show over to you, our illustrious audience. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140, the number for you to join us on the program. You can call in or use the James River Air text line, 833-804-1140. All right, so the USS Lincoln is rotating out. Carrier Strike Group has been deployed for a long time, probably longer than anyone would have anticipated. But news has come out. A sailor's wife has shared that the morale is awful. The food is awful. There are sailors that are severely upset. Mental health is a crisis on the ship, and a bunch of people flocking to that. Chief Naval Operations, the acting Secretary of the Navy all respond. And I want to just get your thoughts if you've been a veteran. I can't talk about this. I'm not a veteran. I didn't serve. My son is in the process, but again, I don't know what it's like for someone who's actually been on one of those ships, so I need some help. If you were a Navy veteran and you've been following this story, or if you have a family member, son, daughter, husband, wife, someone you know that you're very close to, a parent that served on a ship like this, I'd like to get your thoughts. Because a couple things. They were deployed longer than anyone could have anticipated, but they're in a shooting match with Iran right now. Normally, they would have been able to get port calls at our bases, but with the threats of the drones, it wasn't prudent, so they've been on that ship longer than anyone would have anticipated. That's what happens in real life. This is not a video game. But the fact that the media took off and ran with this is kind of bothering to me, because it's almost like they're rooting against the U.S. Navy. They're rooting against Donald Trump. They're rooting against the commander-in-chief because they're so heck bent on seeing this thing through to whatever point of view they have. So I wanted to get your thoughts. 833-804-1140. Especially if you're a veteran, I do need your input on this so we get a big picture and really understand. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. Let me start with Walt on line one. Hey, Walt, good morning. You're on News Radio WRVA.
Good morning. I'm a Coast Guard vet, and that was a seagoing service also.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine his 11 months out, with no protocols. And, of course, I don't know how they stock the ship, so I can't speak for a lot of that, but the thing I see is, as a veteran, the bills that they're pushing now for these soldiers and sailors that are actually serving, they're trying to take away tendinitis, sleep apnea, PTSD, stuff, with the mental health. But, you got to think about it. We did sign up for stuff, too. So I can see both sides, but I never served longer than 40 days straight at sea also. So I feel...
No, absolutely. That's why I wanted to get, because listen, you made a commitment to be there, and the United States made a commitment to you through veterans benefits, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you made that commitment. You signed up for this, and God bless you for doing it. Thank you for your service. I didn't, so I'm always going to be indebted to you for stepping up and answering that call that I didn't. So I respect you like nobody else's business. Now, when you're in one of these ships, either they would have gone to get a port call. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Longest you were out to sea was 40 days, right?
Yeah.
What's that like being out there for 40 days without stepping foot on land? What kind of ship was it?
I was on, at the time, that was 80. So
Okay.
I was on a Navy ocean-going tug that had gone to the Coast Guard.
Okay.
And it was a 42-year-old ship, so it was a rust bucket.
Right.
But if you can see land, that's something in itself. But if you're far out enough that you can't see land, that might affect different. Different people get affected different ways.
It is something, isn't it?
Mentally.
Right. No, it is.
Excuse me?
It is. It's something. So just say you're out there for 40 days and you don't see land. Absolutely. It's going to get to you. Now, Walt, multiply that times you're in an aircraft carrier, you've got an air wing, you're in a hot shooting war, and you're out there deployed, and you're constantly having sorties flown off the deck. You're constantly under that pressure. You're constantly going because you guys drill, you guys work. It's a 7-day-a-week job. It's not like we get Saturdays and Sundays off, right?
Oh, it's 8 days a week, and you do your 8 hours, and then you have 4-hour watch, whether it's 4 in the morning to 8 in the morning, or 8 to 12, or 12 to 4, 4 to 8 in the evening,
Right.
8 to 12. So you've got and your body needs rest.
Your body
You
needs
got to
rest.
sleep sometimes.
Your body
You
needs
got to be
rest.
able to replenish.
Right.
And as far as again, supplies. I don't know how they get their supplies, if they're flown in, if they're brought in on a supply ship and they transfer. But if you're under fire, that's going to make it even harder for them to get more supplies to the ship.
bingo.
I mean, it's common sense. If you go to the store and they don't have it, well, they don't have it. It's similar to the same process.
Right. No,
So-
you're 100% right, because Military Sea Lift Command will either have the ship go over and they shoot a line over. And that's how they replenish the ship from Military Sea Lift Command. The supply ships will get the everything back on, or in certain cases they have to use a helicopter to move everything back on. But if you're in the middle of people shooting drones and missiles at you, kind of hard to do that. The U.S. Navy, U.S. Coast Guard's best at replenishing of any seagoing service in the world, Marine Corps as well. But there is a lot of danger that goes into this. So just so everybody understands, the deployment for the Lincoln has been 8.5 months. They were out to sea for 2 months before they were summoned to the Middle East. So they've been in the Middle East in the Strait, or in that part of the world, I should say, for 6.5 months. So they've been continuously at sea without a port call for 200 plus days. Walt, that would get to anybody, wouldn't it?
It would definitely get to me. So
No, that's
I would
why,
think
again,
anybody,
yeah, that's why, again, the other part of this, let me ask you this. So OPSEC, operational security, you're supposed to be careful what you share with people, because you just give them a snapshot that's all they have. Then that's what they think is going on for the entire time. What do you think about people that are service members that are sharing little tidbits with family members, and family members pointing that out to everybody else, and all of a sudden it kind of grows like wildfire?
Well, part of it grows is because of social media.
Correct.
I mean, because we're in that age. And I guess when they can reach out to family members and such, family members that are civilians don't know the difference, between security and such also. And then, I don't know. I mean, I can see the sailors or soldiers using it as a vent to release tension.
Right.
But in the same dealings, the civilians that are spreading it out to everybody else, it's basically like this. Does somebody actually think past their fingernail before they do something? How it's going to affect their family, someone else down the road, whatever. Or they just go with it. And pretty much today, people don't think past their fingernail, they just go with it. And to me, that brings a whole lot of unnecessary problems into life as itself.
Can I steal that from you?
Hey.
I've never heard that saying before in my life, Walt.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for what y'all do. Not only for, with the national anthem, but bringing us information and sharing it and letting us make our own call. But let me get off the phone so you can speak to somebody else.
All right. Hey, by the way, I hope if you get a chance, I don't know where you are, but if you're on the West End, Saturday, I'm cooking for everybody. So if you get a chance to come by, I'd love to just say hi and thank you for your service.
Cool. Well, I'm at Virginia Center Commons now, getting ready to go in the gym right now.
Okay, I'll go to the gym, workout, and then don't forget, Saturday, I'm cooking over at Tom Leonard's. I'm making tri-tip sirloin steak sandwiches, and the money we make, I'm going to donate to River City Wranglers, and we're going to get that money to Wreaths Across America.
And what time frame is that again?
I'm going to be out there from 11 until I run out of tri-tips. So it's a sirloin sandwich. I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to grill it, cut it up. We'll serve it, and then the money we raise, we'll make sure that we try to get enough wreaths for every headstone at the National Cemetery this year.
I hope you got a Navy veteran following me that can give you more information. But
No,
thanks
you
again.
did
Let me
great.
get off the
No,
phone.
no. You did great. I appreciate you, Walt. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for your service. That opens up a phone line for you. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140 on the number for you to join us. All right. Couple other people. All right. About the golf tournament, Dan, we will absolutely talk about that. Thank you very much. I'll pass that along. Somebody says loose lips sink ships. Let's see. They're coming in so fast right now. Newsflash: being on a ship is what you signed up for when you joined the Navy. Absolutely, get that part. Do you think the guys in World War II complaining about the food quality? They were just happy to have food. I get it. I get it, and I understand it. And listen, they're out there volunteering. So I'm not going to knock anybody that signed up and has answered that call to serve. I'm not going to call anybody out, but I will call out the media that's kind of ran with this thing, and then some of the people that I think are bad actors that shared this over the weekend, showing what they were saying were the galleys on the ship and that they had concrete block, they had cinder block on the bulkheads and on ships in the Navy, Coast Guard, bulkheads or walls. There are no cinder blocks. So if you're out there sharing that, then you're just a bad actor. All right, let me go to Ken on line one. Hey, Ken, welcome. You're on News Radio WRVA. Good morning.
Yeah, I think you said 10. My name is Tim.
Tim,
Tim.
I'm sorry, Tim. All right, let me try. Let me do this better, Tim. Hold on, Tim. I'm going to give you the big. I'm going to give you the big welcome here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 9:46 here on News Radio WRVA. Let's go out to line one. Tim is on line one. Tim, welcome to the show. How's that? Better.
Balloons and confetti all around. Hey, listen, I'm gonna take a little slightly different approach here. Let's get back to a little bit of reality here. Infantry soldiers during the height of the Iraq and Afghanistan war were being extended from a 1-year deployment to an 18-month deployment.
Mm-hmm.
They were living in the mud. They were sleeping on concrete. They were getting shot at and getting killed by the thousands. Where was the outrage that our soldiers were living in such conditions? Where was the concern that they hadn't had a port call? Meaning they didn't get to go to a brothel in.
Well, now wait a sec, Tim, hold on, Tim. No, hold on, Tim, hold on. You can't say that. That's not fair.
Well, listen, let me tell you. I know you're a father of a young man. When I spent my time on the ship,
wait a minute. That changes it. So you're a veteran then?
I thought you wanted veterans to call.
No, that's what I just want to make sure, because if you're a veteran, then I'm going to give you all the leeway in the world.
All right.
Okay, so you're a veteran, so I'll let you go. I'll give you more leeway. Go ahead.
All right. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. I did 2 tours on a float. I then did 28 years in the Army.
Were you a Hollywood Marine were you a Hollywood Marine or an East Coast Marine?
I was Paris Island.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to shut up. You talk.
Move on.
Okay.
So my point is that our soldiers, sailors, Air Force, Marines have all endured far, far worse than not having clean sheets and maybe not as big of a meal as they would have liked. They're still on an aircraft carrier out to sea. Yes, we're now entering into drone warfare and rockets and the rest of it, but they're not sitting on a forward base somewhere surrounded by Taliban and getting shot at, mortared, and rocketed every day. I mean, have some perspective here. We had guys dying all the time. Nobody, was the
Joey Jones? Joey Jones said a lot of the same thing over the weekend on Fox News. Let me ask you this: then for the family members that are pushing this out and they've gone on, I saw someone on CNN on a clip talking about this. I think a lot of this is family members that are concerned, and we're all going to be concerned, Tim. I'm sure your family was concerned when you were forward deployed. Is it irresponsible for the media to jump on this and then all of a sudden all these people make it something that maybe it's bigger than it really was?
It's extraordinarily irresponsible of the media. The family members, listen, you love your child, whether that child is a 5-year-old or a 25-year-old, right? You're going to be worried about them at all times and all conditions. My son is an active duty Army Green Beret.
Wow.
My wife worries about him all the time. And when I say something like, I don't remember you worrying about me like this, she'll say, because you're you, and my son is my little boy.
Exactly. Now, you know what? She's right.
Now, my little boy was a West Point graduate. Graduated the #1 physical fitness guy at West Point. Was a Division I athlete.
He's a PT god.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and more than that. But anyway. But the point is, more than capable and far more capable than his father of taking care of himself. And yet my wife will worry. My wife, who's a combat veteran herself.
Right, because it's our kids.
Worry about her child, even though her child is now late 30s.
In a green beret, people should be worried about him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, again, I get it. Those soldiers are hot and they're nasty and they're out there on that ship and they're not getting things the way they want. And it's been a long time since they've been home. But this is way over the top, wringing of hands over not much.
But Tim, I think you hit the nail on the head because listen, you know this. Your son went to West Point. How many helicopter parents were like, don't leave when you get the 30 seconds to say goodbye? In this generation, all these parents, I have to fight not to be a helicopter parent. Mine's 25. So I get it that if you're a parent and you're that upset, we completely understand it. But I think you are onto something when you say, for people to jump on this and take parents' concerns about their babies, and they're always going to be my baby, and run with it and make it something bigger. I think you're doing a disservice to the men and women that wear that uniform. They know what they're doing, and we're supposed to be there to support them. And if you did that in the media, then shame on you. Tim, first of all, thank you. Thank your wife for your service. And your son, tell him we said thank you so much. Proud of your West Pointer. And the apple didn't fall far from that tree, I can tell you that. Thank you so much, Tim. Appreciate the conversation. All right, that's going to wrap up the program for today. It's brought to you, our national anthem coming up, brought to you by Freedom Services and Training, the biggest little gun store in town, located in Mechanicsville. My name is Rich Schreier. The reason we get up early every morning is there's some things that I think we're standing up for, my family and my country. See you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. here on News Radio WRVA.
Please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's